Hello everyone. Today we are continuing with arrays in TypeScript. Let's start by commenting out the code we wrote in the previous lesson. Now let's write down our new topic title, Arrays. First, go ahead and open the HTML file in your browser. Let's take a look at how we declare arrays in TypeScript. We'll start by defining a variable named numbers, and we'll also specify its type. In TypeScript, we write array types like this: number open bracket close bracket. This means that all elements in this array must be numbers. If we try to add an element of a different type, TypeScript will throw an error. Let's log this array in the console. As you can see, the console still shows results from the previous lesson. That's because we haven't compiled our TypeScript code into JavaScript yet. Our JavaScript file is not up to date. To compile the code, we run the command npxtsc in the terminal. Now that the code is compiled, we can see the array value at the console. Next, let's see another way to declare an array. We'll create another array with the same type, number. This time, we write the type using the array keyword. Let's compile the code again and check the result in the console. As you saw, even though we defined it using two different syntaxes, the outcome was exactly the same. Now let's define a new array called colors, which will hold string values. Again, we compile and check the result in the console. Next, we define another string array called names, but we leave it empty for now. We try to add a number using the push method, and as expected, we get an error. Argument of type number is not assignable to parameter of type string. That's because this array is explicitly defined to accept only strings. Let's comment out that line and try adding a string instead. Now there's no error. Let's compile the code again and check the result in the console. We log it in the console and verify that the string was successfully added. Now let's create a new array, but this time we don't specify any type. We use the push method to add a number, and we see no error. Then we add a string, again with no error. Let's compile and check the result in the console. Both elements are added to the array. So, what's happening here? Since we didn't specify a type, TypeScript infers it as any array. That means this array can accept values of any type. Now, what if we want to create an array that accepts multiple types of values? Let's look at that. We create a new array called mixed_r, and we specify its type as number array. We start adding numbers, 1, 2, 3. Then we try adding a string, and we get an error. How can we allow both numbers and strings? This is where union types come in. We update the array type. We use parentheses and the pipe symbol to include both number and string types. And now it can hold both numbers and strings. We add hello and world, and there are no errors. But if we try to add a different type, For example, a Boolean. TypeScript throws an error. Type Boolean is not assignable to type string number. We're replacing the Boolean value with a number, and as you can see, the error is gone. That's because this array is strictly typed to accept only strings and numbers. Let's compile the code again and check the result in the console. We log the final array in the console and verify the result. And finally, let's create an array called seasons, where all elements are strings. We add the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Nothing new so far. Let's compile the code again and check the result in the console. Now, we try to use push to add a new value, and it works. No error. That's expected. But what if we want to prevent any modifications to the array? What if we want it to be immutable? No new elements, no removals. In that case, we can use the read-only keyword. Let's add read-only to the array declaration. And immediately, the next line throws an error. The error message clearly indicates that we're trying to modify a read-only array. So we comment out that line and wrap up the arrays topic here. To summarize, we can define arrays in 2 ways in TypeScript, using the square bracket syntax type bracket or the generic syntax array. That's all for now. We will continue exploring tuples in the next lesson. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.